Hello, welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. I'm back with the Just Journal January journal prompts from My Porch Prints. And so I started this these prompts yesterday. So I did not do 1 through 5. Hopefully I'll be able to go back and do 1 through 5. But yesterday I did number 6, which was the envelope prompt. And here's the envelope that I made. And this is kind of a pocket using junk mail, and then I turned it into an envelope. And so if you'd like to see how I created this one, you can check that out for yesterday's video. And I'm going to have a playlist for the January journal prompts. And I don't know if I named it January junk journal prompts or January journal prompts, but I will link to that below as well. And so today's prompt is number 7, which was January 7th, is layers. And like I said, I may go back and do the other ones. I don't know yet. But I'm just going to keep following these prompts for now. And then if I have some extra time, I may add some more in. So day 7 is layers, and I thought about different projects I could make with layers. I wanted to do something I hadn't done, but I also wanted to keep it very simple because these are daily prompts, and in order to keep up with daily prompts, I have to remind myself that it can't be anything extravagant or anything large, because if it is, I'm not going to be able to do it daily. So before I start cutting it down, this is a piece from the Spring Garden Journal Kit. And I'm not sponsored by My Porch Prints. I'm just following along with her journal prompts. I purchased these myself, or I'll tell you where I got each one. This one is a freebie from her Facebook group, but this one is from one of the kits in her shop. And so I'll try to put the name of the kit in the description below if you want to check it out. And this is the one I was telling you yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, that I made a journal with recently, and I've got to show you that journal. So I'm going to be using this one for the project. I'm also going to be using these as my journaling cards, and this was a freebie on her Facebook group. And then this one is from the Spring Garden Journal Kit as well, and I'm going to be using these jars as journaling cards. So I'll just talk a bit about it while I'm trimming this up. I want to cut these out. So the challenge is on her Facebook group, and I do think she shared it on her Instagram. But if you want to get this image, you'll need to be a member of her Facebook group, which anybody can be a member. It's a private group. You just fill out a few questions, I think, and then you can join. And so you get this page to print out for the prompts. And she also gave this free image that you could use on the front of your journal if you were creating a journal. Now, I am not creating a journal at the moment, but the more I'm thinking about this challenge and more I'm working on it, I may decide to go ahead and create a journal for all these pieces. But what I've been doing is just creating journal pieces that could go in any journal. And I'm keeping them fairly neutral because my themes most of the time include flowers or butterflies or something like that. So I'm keeping it neutral to that I could put it in any journal. But in the end, I may just make myself a journal using all these bits and pieces. I have thought about, since I am trying to make everything kind of new or something different that I haven't done, maybe not new to everyone, but something I hadn't done before, and then and just ideas that I have, maybe I could just make an idea journal with these, but I don't know yet. But first I'm just going to cut out all of these little cards with the flowers on them that came in this journal pack. And then I will show you what I'm going to do with them. And this is just a quick little idea I had for a journal page today. I'm sure there's no new ideas. I'm sure somebody else has done this before. I don't know. I haven't seen it done this way, but I'm sure nothing's really new. But it's just something I wanted to try today. So let me go through here. Just cutting a few more out. I got this little trimmer. I'm still learning to use it. Get everything lined up right with it. I got this trimmer at Michael's a few weeks ago during one of the Christmas sales they had. And I got it like, I think 50% off or so. So I wanted to give it a try because I don't have a small trimmer. Everything I have is fairly large. So let me see which ones I want to use. So I know I want to use, I like this one. And let's take a look here. So I like this one here, and then I might use, I'm gonna have to trim them down because some of them's wider than others. Let me trim this one down. Probably should have trimmed some the exact same size, stacked them, but we'll get them close enough to be the same size. Let's see, so what, Since today is layers, I thought I would make some layered pockets. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. So we're going to layer these up. I think those two are good together. And then maybe these two together. Look kind of like this blue one though. That look right together. So let's just trim this off. And there's a little noise in the background. One of my dogs is running around behind me. But then I can hear the cat getting into something, so she'll probably come running through in just a moment. Because anytime she gets into something, then she just comes running through the house like a crazy girl. Why are these not matching up in size? I am terrible at cutting. So what I'm going to do is cut a little off the top. Then I'll trim here, trim there. Okay, so that noise is the cat come running through now. I'm sure you heard all those nails. Because she comes through and she startles the dogs. And so that's what that was. The dogs are startled by her. She's a kitten and they're a little older, so they have a hard time dealing with her sometimes. So I like these. Let's just use those. And then for my journal page, I'm just going to be using a tea stained or coffee stained. I don't remember. I pulled this out of my stained paper drawer, and I don't remember if this is tea or coffee. And after a certain amount of time, you can't smell it anyway, so there's no way to tell, which is a good thing because I wouldn't want it to keep its smell. I just don't like the smell of it, of coffee stained. But over time, it does diminish. For me, it does anyways. So I'm just inking around the edges here. But before I do that, let's go ahead. I need to punch a little hole. And I've just got to decide what size hole I want. I think I'm going to use this one. So this is a, I don't know what size hole. Maybe a 2-inch or 1.5. So I'm just going to take and make a little cut out on the front edge of each card. And I'm just going to eyeball it. And I have not tried this. So this, these ideas that I'm having for these prompts, I'm not going to test them out and see if they work. I'm just going to do them with you and test them with you. And we will see how it turns out together. We'll just figure this out together. And if it doesn't work, then we both learned what doesn't work, right? So you'll learn right along with me. And that way, you don't have to waste your paper trying it. But if it works, we may come out with something cute or something, a good idea for our journals. So now I am going to ink this. I try not to ink on camera all the time. I try to ink off camera, but I am going to ink this today because when we glue this down, we're not going to be able to ink it. And another thing is this video is not going to be that long of a video anyway because, like I said, I'm doing a quick project. And I do apologize for the dog barking in the background. They just ate supper. So once they eat supper and they go out and come back in, they go out to potty and then come back, they're so hyper. So they're playing with the cat and they're just running around playing with each other, and so they are noisy. But they normally nap in the afternoons, and that is over. It's getting dark now, so if I'm going to film, I'm just going to have to film with the noise. And if I'm going to craft, I'm just going to have to craft before bedtime if I want to get this in before the end of day 7. So I'm trying to get it in time. And that's what I'm trying to do, is show you some projects that we can do that can be done in just an evening and let you see that you can work on your journals and you don't have to have a whole lot of time. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is projects that don't take a lot of time. So my idea was, and like I said, this is not a new idea because I've done them before where you layer pockets up the page, but I thought it might be cool to have layered pockets using these cards because they were made for journaling cards, I think. But we can just turn them into pockets and then we'll have little layered side pockets. So this will be a quick little project that we can do today. And then we'll add our, I think we're going to add the jars to them. I'm not sure. My idea was when you was using this as your journal, you could easily, if you were journaling about a trip or something you went on, then you could easily take and, let me go ahead and let me figure out where I'm going to glue this to. You could easily take and put little pictures in, or receipts. I was thinking receipts as well, into the pockets. So these pockets would be good for that, but they're also good for little journaling cards where you could just journal about whatever activity that was for that day. But I did think this would make good little receipt pockets too. You could also, if you were making a journal for somebody, this would also make good little pockets for ephemera to include in their journal. What I'm trying to do and trying to get these to match up in size, because when I trimmed them, I did not trim them down to the exact size. I'm not that great with paper cutting and trimming, I think sometimes. If I'm not trying to measure and I'm just trimming off edges, I wasn't being exact. I probably should have thought about that and made sure that each one of these was the exact same size. So if you do this project, following my video, then you will know, like I said, we learn from each other. And so now you'll know to take and just take and measure yours. When you're cutting yours down, just make sure that all of them are a certain width wide so that you don't have to worry about fussing with it as much as I am. But I'm not worried about it. It's not that big a deal. So what I did was I just added a little glue on the edges here, as you said, as I was talking, just to tack them together. And then I'm just going to run glue along each of the sides and then along the bottom here. And I'm debating, do I want the top pocket to be able to go down into the other pocket or stop? I want it to be a short pocket actually. So I'm just going to glue along the bottom of the little pocket as well, so it's down the middle here. And then we're just going to center this up. Now I'm going to kind of put this one here so I can eyeball the room we're going to have. So I'm going to just try to center it up. It doesn't have to be perfect though, because this is just for fun. And it's junk journaling, and that's where you don't have to have perfection in this. You can just have fun working in your journal or working on a journal. And I like creating things like this, even if I don't have a journal that I'm working on. I like creating pieces so that when I am working on a journal and I need extra pieces, I can just pull out extra things to put in it. Okay, let's see. Does that look like it's lined up fairly even? Fairly even. It's not perfect, but that's okay. We're not going for perfection. We're just trying our best. So I'm just going to take my foam folder and press down the glue. I think my glue may be getting old because I'm having a little trouble with it today. And so I'm not sure if it's the temperature in here or if it's just getting old and dried out. I may need to add more to the bottle because it is getting low in the bottle. That may be part of it. So I think these little cards make cute pockets. Now, let me take and cut these out real quick and we'll put these in to the pockets and see how it looks. So, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me cut these out. I'm going to do it really quickly and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. Okay, so here is our simple little layered page with our layered pockets and then our little journaling cards or tags inside that are the shape of jars. So I will tell you that it may be easier to make just plain cards to put in these, so they're a little tight. So what I did is I cut a little off the top of each jar and a little off the bottom of each jar. So I went in and I just trimmed off some here and some off the bottom. And then I think these, I may have done some of the sides on them because they were a little bit bigger than the other ones. And so I don't know if it's the way I printed them or if they are just made bigger. But that's what I did to put them in the pockets. And I wanted them to be standing up, but you could take and put them in with the top sticking out like that as well. Either way, or you could just use cards or anything or pictures to put in here. Really doesn't have to be these. I just thought that these were cute and would make good little journaling cards, and so I like this for this page. And so we have a page done, and yeah, we could do more. We could decorate up more, but I think that these are pretty enough images that I don't need to add anything. I was trying to look and think what I would want to add to it if I added anything. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it like this. And then when I add it to the journal, if I wanted to add some lace to the edge of the page, I could. But I think it looks good like this. I like this. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these prompts simple so I can do them every day, because I really struggle with daily prompts, because when I go to do something, I don't know if you're like me, but when you go to make something like this, then you want to just make it even bigger and even better, and that's good sometimes, but if you're trying to do a daily prompt, it's kind of hard to do that. So here are my 2 daily prompts that I've done so far, so day 6 and day 7, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. This one is from a different kit, and I'll tell you in that video, I said the name of it wrong in that video. I said Letters to Rose, but I'm almost certain now, when I looked it up last night, I think it said roses and letters, not letters to rose. So it's roses and letters kit. And then this one is the summer kit with some of the freebies from the Facebook group. This, not summer kit, excuse me. Let me see what the name of it is again. Spring Garden Journal Kit. And I did use it in the summertime. And I do have a journal that I'm going to be doing a flip through soon. I'll do a flip through of it soon, showing you all that I put in that journal. And I really had fun playing with those papers. Well, I hope that this has inspired you to get up and make something today, even if it's just a few minutes of crafting. At least a few minutes will help your spirits. It'll make you feel happy. It does me anyway. It makes me happy to be able to get in my craft room and craft. And so here is our journaling prompts for the rest of the month. If you want to find these, you can find these on the Facebook group for My Porch Prints. And these are a lot of fun, and they're very simple prompts, but it gets you thinking. It makes you start thinking about what you can make for that theme. And so there's so many different things you can do with layers, and there's so many different things you can do with envelopes. And if on the Facebook group, I've seen that there's some other people doing this, and it's really cool to see what others are making for these prompts as well. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.